racing. Now watch the formation lap underway. And as I say in the opening, keep an eye there. Look at that. Michael Schumacher sprints ahead.
And therein lies an infraction.
Yeah, the regulations say that you must hold station throughout the entire duration of the formation lap.
And what made this interesting was the fact that the same thing had happened in Brazil earlier in the year and nothing was made of it. But here it became a huge issue.
Well, because A, Damon Hill was driving in front of the British crowd as a British driver, and B, Michael Schumacher had a huge lead, so they had to make an issue about something.
It never happens, does it?
Big crowd on hand, and of course another very, very hot day like the French Grand Prix 2 weeks before, the week before. That heat wave was still around, and it was extremely hot.
Waving from the fourth car, the right-hand column. That's David Coulthard in the Williams, who has stalled. That means the start will be aborted if, in fact, he is found. And look how his arms stick out of that car. Can you imagine that in contemporary Formula One? And yet, green at the back, but a yellow at trackside.
Because the guy at the back with the green flag.
Welcome back to Formula One Decade, the 1994 British Grand Prix. There's David Coulthard, who stalled on the initial attempt to start the race. He will be held and will start from the back as the field rolls off on the second formation lap. And once again, Michael Schumacher, from the second place on the grid, moves in front of the pole sitter, Damon Hill.
I can offer no real explanations why Michael Schumacher did that during the formation laps at all.
The now fourth place car in the right-hand lane, that's Martin Brundle's McLaren Peugeot. Look at that thing, like a locomotive. We have the green flag. Here come the lights. Watch Brundle. Pow.
Oh, my God. The car shuffling behind him there. Miracle no got. Oh, poor old Martin Brundle in front of his home crowd.
Martin Brundle's home race over. Yeah, the Peugeot A6 V10. Massive blow up on the start line. Going saga about the formation lap incident. It's about 30 minutes into the race that the team received a copy of the steward's decision number 2, which arrived well after it should have done to the regulations. However, basically it said that a time penalty would be applied to Michael Schumacher, car number 5, for an infringement on the parade lap. And that was it. Nothing else arrived down to us. Now, I can remember consternation on the pit wall with Flavio Briatore and Tom Walkinshaw thinking, parade lap, what's that? There's nothing in the regulations about that. There's no way for the team to know what to do. Would the time penalty be applied to Michael's time at the end of the race? There was no mention of a stop-go penalty, which would imply that the driver had to come in and take a penalty. So the team's decision at this point, having received that steward's decision, was to do nothing about it. So this is Michael Schumacher pitting from P1. Nothing to do with the steward's decision that has arrived. This is just a scheduled refueling stop.
So now Gerhard Berger takes the lead in the Ferrari.
Of course, behind the scenes, the stewards were expecting Michael Schumacher to be called in for a stop-go penalty. So they are expecting the team to react, to bring the driver in. The team did not know about the penalty. Let's see what happens next.
There's a couple of people saying it right there.
You're looking there at a Ferrari V12, a Ford V8, and a Renault V10.
And there it is, black flag for Michael Schumacher.
Now, you can imagine the reaction on the pit lane from the engineers and the directors of Benetton at seeing that announcement. What?
Was there some consternation?
There was some consternation.
Also some colourful language, I'm sure.
Engineering director Tom Walkinshaw, Joan Villadel-Pratt, the team manager, and Flavio Briatore, the managing director of Benetton Formula, now trying to discuss with Roland Brunseride, the race director, the man responsible for showing Michael Schumacher the black flag. What is he being black flagged for? What do you want us to do? Now, there are many which say you are showing the black flag, you come in and stop. That is a very important flag, perhaps the most important flag in motor racing, very rarely seen.
And a great pass there by Michael Schumacher on Jerry Berger in that infield complex there, going around, coming into Luffield. And of course that's the reason why, because Berger was about to stop. There is the black flag. And there is old Roland.
Now,
here's Berger pitting.
At this point, Michael is in conversation with the pit wall. What should I do? What is my responsibility now being shown the black flag? The team, of course, telling him to stop out, stop in the race, while we the team Benetton, try and get some information of exactly what on earth is going on.
Might you possibly gain?
Well, absolutely none.
I think the rule goes back many years ago from when cars used to use carburetors, and the idea was of the reason for the formation lap to exist was a final systems check to make sure that everything was working correctly. That was the original idea behind the rule. And this is Michael Schumacher. Now the team has been made aware of exactly what we're supposed to do, obliged to do, which is to bring Michael Schumacher in for a 5-second stop-go penalty. Now the team is aware of what the penalty is, and the penalty is taking place.
You see that on board again. Note the steering wheel, its shape and construction, and the complete, well, not complete lack of buttons and readouts and what have you, but
the situation should have been resolved. Penalty has been served. Is everybody happy? It would seem that the race director has come to a decision with the team. The penalty's been served. Can we get on with the race? Yes, the race does continue, but Michael Schumacher ignored the black flag, and powers that be in a higher position than Roland Brunseride, the race director, are now saying, why did Michael Schumacher not yield to the black flag?
Well, this is absolutely staggering. Coming through Luffield for the last time into Woodcote in front of a huge crowd on hand to see just this exact moment. And of course, for Damon Hill, the emotion must have been running unbelievably high as Damon Hill wins the British Grand Prix in 1994, much to the absolute delight of that huge crowd and of course to himself as well. Big mistake.
meanwhile, Damon Hill makes his way around. Here's Mika Hakkinen, having gotten back on track with a push, giving the officials something else to argue about,
he was
being extracted from the gravel trap.
Definitely a no-no, being pushed back on the track like that.
Oh, my goodness.
Well, the only way around it is they concede that the car was in a dangerous position.
If you ever go to official school, you'll want to study this race. We'll be right back.